I'm Sailor Eric, and today we're going to talk about replacing blinds in a bedroom. If you're a sailor, then you have to be able to do it yourself on a lot of different projects, and these blinds are blinds that I do not like. You can see that, they are cheap spring-loaded, thin blackout blinds, and they have been annoying to me since I've owned this condo, so I want to replace those. There is a little bit of a trick though, because it's not as simple as just replacing brackets or swapping out blinds. There's these custom trim pieces in here. This condo has a bunch of unique things, and I'm going to round and bring you over, and you can see that there is a glue. It's I wouldn't call it caulk because I found it's much stronger than caulk, but it's like a latex or polyurethane adherent and sealant that is going around the frame of this trim piece, and you can see that there are two wood screws holding it into blocks. There are blocks in here, wood blocks, you can see it way back in there, holding that in. So that is the main thing that keeps in those trim pieces. So we're gonna have to unscrew those wood screws and cut the glue all around that frame edge and then take those out. I'm going to bring it over and show you an example of one that's already been done. So there's a frame piece that has been pulled out, and you can see that I've scraped the edge of it. The glue residue has been scraped off, and we have to do that because we're going to put new glue up there. And you can see also that the residue area has been scraped off for the most part, or it's not completely gone, but scraped to a large extent. And you can see that a blind has already been installed here. These are lazy blinds, and I went with a much thicker honeycomb style blind. And you can see, you just pull it down and it stays, and you can bring it back up and it goes right up, no problem. All right, this is a freshly opened package of a lazy blind. This is what comes in it. Very simple. You have the nice high quality blind here, honeycomb design. You can see how thick it is. You can see that the material on the outside facing out is a lighter material, right? This color. To reflect the sun, and you can see I got a dark gray color for this particular room, and the two brackets, they go in. I'm gonna mount them side mount as opposed to top mount. You can see I have a single hole in either bracket that I'm gonna have to measure very closely and appropriately, and I've got a second hole that gives me a little fudge vector to the closer to the top side of the bracket. The brackets can be placed in a variable width, so you can place them, I'm placing them roughly 4 inches away, maybe 5 inches in some cases, depending on what the frame looks like, from the edge of the blind. And once the bracket is installed on either side in a symmetrical fashion, you simply seat the blind in there, and then you just close this lever. Right, and that locks the blind in. So very super easy to install. All right, now I'm going to start with this razor knife and cutting around the edges of this trim piece. All right, now we're gonna withdraw those two wood screws. They're 3 inches long, and I need to back them out by about a ½ inch to pull them out of the metal frame that's going into the window. All right, I just about got this frame piece out of here. There's just a little bit of this adhesive holding on. I got to cut through. I think once that gets completely cut, it will be coming out of here. What do I got in here? This looks good. I think we're all set. All right, success. All right, now you can see the next step, which is going to be to scrape out the residue from that latex or polyurethane adherent so that we can, when we do replace the blind, we can then reapply a caulk and readhere like probably a silicone caulk around the frame. All right, here are the tools we're going to use to get that residue off of the frame of the window. We've got that razor knife. We've got a Dremel with a sanding drum. We've got the painter's scraper tool, the sanding drum. You hit the button and it spins. And then you just got coarse grit and a finer grit sandpaper to work all that off. I'm going to start with this painter scraping tool. All right, here we go. Let's do a better job scraping off that residue with my scraping tool here. I'm going to take the old blind out so I have easier access to the frame. And the old blind basically has a retractor pin in here, and if I hit it just right and put the right amount of pressure, it should allow this blind to come right out. Yeah, obviously requires a little bit of practice. Oop, I think I almost got it. Oh, there it is. Here we go. Now the blind is out. The scraper's tool, track this pin here, right there. That pin retracts. All right, now we're going to use this Dremel and the sanding drum on there to further clean that residue after scraping off the big pieces. All right, now we're going to take off those old brackets. You can see that a lot of that residue is gone. I can do a little more work there, but it's a lot better than what it was. I'll probably also give it a light sand just to make sure when I put on the new stuff that it's got a place to adhere to, a roughed up surface, and as clean as possible. And again, I'll take off this old bracket, and then the next step will be measuring for the new brackets. All right, talking through these measurements, I have a 35-inch wide window frame. I've got a 32-inch blind that is going to cover the window, right, entirely. The brackets are about 1 inch tall, and the hole is about a 1/2 inch down. The space between the two holes is a 1/2 inch. So, and obviously the holes here have one small hole and one longer, wider hole. So the longer, wider hole gives me more play, but I've got to get that other hole that has no play measured appropriately. So this one is going to go 5.5 inches in from the frame and 1 1/4 inch down from this, my left side as I'm facing it. And so that means that on this side, it's also going to come down 1 1/4 inches, but I'm going to add a 1/2 inch. So instead of 5.5 inches, I'll put 6 inches from this side. So I drill and mark and drill. Mark first, then drill the left side hole. right? I'll mark both holes so I have a pretty good idea of where I'm going to be drilling. This is a metal frame, so I really want to get it right the first time. Close spot on the first materials, but you know, the height's more important. I'm playing the bracket one last time. I've got two holes marked. The first one's the more important one. Now I'm going to go with that. Okay, that one started. The second one going now. Okay, next one. Right. I dropped today. And now the final one again. Just gotta make sure the bracket will work. With that spacing between our point drill. Yeah, okay. All right, I've got our holding here. Now it's time to lever the screws. And rats. Okay, you can see the new bracket, and you can see how it's got play in here. All I have to do is tighten the screw that has that extra play to the right spot so that it's nice and level, which would be about there, even though it doesn't look like it on the phone camera here. And you can see that the screw isn't in that one yet. I got to still screw that one in. The screw is here on the left side in the small hole, but the big hole I'm gonna screw in here shortly. So this is just about ready to mount the new blind. Excellent. All right, gray side facing in, light side facing out. I learned that the hard way. Sitting looking at my blinds going, why are these one color and the other one's the other color? And then I realized, oh, the gray side goes in. So now we're going to hang this blind, and it's going to be simple as lining these guys up. There we go. Lever is on the outside, and now we push that lever down, and voila, they're hung. So that's pretty easy. Again, this is Sailor Eric. Thank you for watching my installation tutorial video of installing a LazBlind. I've done 4 of those already in my bedroom. I'm going to be doing 1 more. There's going to be extra work involved in finishing those trim pieces, reinstalling those, and making them look nice and cohesive within the frames. That might be another video. So until then, thanks, and please hit the like button.